Alrighty, so I just had a suggestion on Twitter from Anul, who is the author, I guess, presenter of the Hackaday course on KiCAD. And his suggestion was to try the manipulator workbench, which is another third-party workbench, I think by the same person that did the KiCAD StepUp workbench. So I've just gone ahead and installed it. So let's see. Oh, no, wrong one. And see what it does. Workbench. Manipulator. Okay, so we got the aligner and what does it say? Oops. This is the first time I've looked at this, so you're gonna have to bear with me. Aligner and mover manipulator workbench. All right, so what do we got? Okay, so we can center stuff. All right, so it looks like we've just managed to rotate it 90 degrees. I have no idea where it's rotated on the x-axis, but I can't see where the origin is. So datum plane. Okay. So we can make a datum plane. And finish editing that. Okay, so now we've got a datum plane that's in the right place. So that's good. Oh, here, we can display the origin. That would be helpful. Let's turn that on. Okay, so that looks... So we want the part for sure to be in the X, Y plane. So we want the top to look like the top. God, this is really working great, isn't it? Okay, so the top looks like the top. But somehow we've got, okay, so we've got some rotation here still. So the mover tools seems to just change this placement sort of thing here. So that's fine. Jesus, this is really zoomed. This is almost not usable. Right, let's see if we can get some idea of what's going on here. So the origin is part of this, which is part of what's moved. So the axis labels here and the plane labels here might not be quite right. But let's just see, is there a plane in the right place? This is just not possible to use. How do we? No. Yeah, I really don't know how to use this, I should say. Let's look at the right side. And then we should see, yeah, so okay, so there is a plane that's right where the PCB should be. Let's carry on, let's try this. So we'll get out of this manipulator thingy and go back into KiCAD StepUp. What are we in the middle of something here? Oh. Don't actually need this datum plane, so because there is a plane that's in the right spot. Oh, that's what was causing the zooming issues, maybe. Okay, well, here we are. Right. Let's close these out and why won't you let me do anything? Right, let's try again. Let's just save this and see if we can close and reopen. Okay. Obviously the version of FreeCAD that I'm using, the add-on manager doesn't work. So I had to install that add-on manually, which is really straightforward. You just got to put it in this app data FreeCAD mod directory. So just got to put it in the right directory. It's fine. Download the zip from GitHub and stick it in that directory, and it's all good. Restart FreeCAD when you're there. Oh yeah. Here we are. So we'll go to the KiCAD StepUp workbench, and that's that. And it looks right from the top. So let's make a union of these parts like we did last time. Okay, and then it ditches the rotation. All right, well, let's work with that then if we can. So we'll get rid of that and go back to the manipulator workbench and see about rotating it the way that we want to. Right, so let's rotate it about the y-axis through 90 degrees. Alrighty. And then let's go back to the KiCAD StepUp workbench and let's get the toolbar and show the axes. Okay, and so there's, okay, so it's moved it off the plane that we want. So we're still going to have that same issue, I reckon, even if it keeps the position. Okay, well let's see. Maybe there's, with this workbench, the manipulator workbench, we can move it to a more sensible position then. Let's go back to the manipulator workbench. And yeah, so it's just modifying, like I say, it's just modifying this placement thing here, which I didn't have any success with before. Before we do any more with the mover workbench, let's bailout, and if it holds this position when we convert it to a base feature in the part design workbench, then it's possible maybe that it will work for the future steps. If it resets the position in this workbench when I do this, then it won't work. Yeah, so that's what I figured. So it deletes this placement. It resets this placement when you convert it from a whatever this is to a base feature on a part design workbench part. So unfortunately, while it looked very hopeful, similar to the draft workbench, it doesn't seem that the manipulator workbench is able to solve this, unless I'm missing something. And for sure, EasyW, if you're out there, I put this on your GitHub as an issue as well. Would be super happy to hear from you about any suggestions that you might have. You certainly know way more about this than me, for sure. More about FreeCAD and a whole lot more about the tools that you've written to make this possible. So also got to give you a shout out and thank you very much for making it even possibility of this ever working. So yeah, awesome.